In order to create some relationships, we again have to connect to the database. We again use our OntoDB core database and our fictitious user. We connect and we get to see the classes that have been created earlier. Also the attributes are still there. But now we want to focus on creating relationships. We simply click on Create New Relation, and we can define a relation name. Let's call this son. The predicate we define as is son of someone. Some relationships can be bidirectional, meaning I can be related to another person, and that other person can also be related to me. The relationship is son of or son is of course not bidirectional, because I can be the son of a father and the son of a mother, but my mother is not automatically the son of me. So therefore this does not apply here. Here in schema name and table name, we can define in what kind of schema and what kind of table the information should be stored. Again, here we have the EU GDPR related information when the data should be deleted, and it cannot be deleted before a certain time, or it should not be processed at all. As soon as we check that checkbox, we will not be able to use this relationship at all. And again, short description and long description, but we leave that empty for now. We save that, and then we see our first relationship here is called son. Let's create another one. Let's call this father. Is father of. Also not bidirectional. The auto display columns we fill in later in case we have attributes that belong to this relationship, because some relationships, for example, married, can contain a date of marriage and a date of divorce, for example. And then we can create here a set of auto display columns that we want to see when we are entering data. And again, the schema and the table name is already pre-filled from what we gave in here in the relationship name. We have father. Create a new one. Like. Predicate, likes. A person likes someone else or something. Pretty easy relationship. We save that. Let's go to the classes, because we need to connect the relationships to classes. Here under relationships, or here in the class itself, we can say new relation, and we get to see here a list of relations that have not been attributed to this class, historical person. Let's take the relationship son that we have had. A person, historical person, can be the son of another historical person. We say select, and I still have a little bit of a refresh problem. We add another relationship, and you see here the relationship son has disappeared because it has already been added to that class called historical person. Let's take the father relationship and again the historical person and say select, and it will be added to that. After restarting my program here, it got the new data out of the database, and now we also see the relationship that have been attributed to this class. Here we see the relationship is father of a historical person, is the son of a historical person. Now you might ask yourself, what has happened inside the database now that we added these relationships? And when we go to the database system here. We get to see, I make a little bit of a refresh on that database. We look into the tables, and here we see in the graph tables, there have been now a couple of new tables. One is called eFather for edge table father, one is called eLike, and one is called eSon, and that reflects perfectly what we have created here in the father, like, and son relationships in our little user interface, which is only a prototype and not going to be the final product. As well as tables, we also find now a couple of new stop procedures here inside our schema code called store. Here we see a stop procedure to delete an entry out of the eFather table. Here we see a stop procedure in order to make an insert or an update to the eLike table. And that code that is being produced by that looks then like this. It has a whole bunch of parameters, which also contain the system parameter that are needed. And you do not need to be concerned about that. You have to fill in those. That will later be done by the user interface automatically. And it simply creates a whole bunch of code that then inserts data from a JSON or from direct entry, makes some plausibility checks, and then finally creates a whole bunch of additional information that you would usually have to pick in order to fill edge tables. And edge tables are specifically divisible when it comes to filling in reference data, and that has been all taken over by this stop procedure. And in the end, it makes a merge statement that then enters the information inside the database.